You're recording. Hello everyone, it's Mrs. Sorrells again. Today we're going to be covering order of operations. This is lesson 2-1. Okay, remember, once again, you're filling in the blanks with us and following along. If you have any questions, remember you need to put them in the online form, and remember you can always rewind, replay, or pause. Alright, so we're going to start something new from here on out. We're going to be putting in goals or objectives, things that you need to know. These are things that you'll be tested over and things that you need to have complete understanding of. Okay, so you can kind of measure yourself, look back after the lesson and see how well you've done, maybe highlight or star ones that you're still having difficulty with. Alright, so the two goals for today would be to recall and use order of operations, which is also known as GEMS, and just some basic math equations. And then the second one is make a statement true when information is missing out of the equation. Alright. Okay, so straight to the point, the main idea of this is going to be that in any math problem with more than one step, you have to follow a certain order. Alright, so you don't just get to work left to right. We will tell you what the order is, and the acronym for this, or the letters that we use to help remember this, is GEMS. Alright, so when we say GEMS, we're also talking about order of operations. Okay, so you have the letter G. G stands for grouping symbols. And I've put a couple examples of what they look like. So grouping symbols. Most of the time you're going to be seeing parentheses, which are this one right here. Okay. But later on you'll be seeing brackets and other things to help group numbers together. Alright, the next one is E, and E stands for exponents. Alright, we're not going to really go into what an exponent is, but what an exponent looks like, just so you know, you have this normal 3 right here, and then you might see that little number in the top beside it on the right. This is the exponent. Okay, and real quick, what it does is it tells you how many 3's are in the problem, how many 3's are being multiplied. Alright, next is M. Now M stands for two things. Okay, stands for multiplication. Whoa, getting crazy. And division. Alright, now here's the trick. Multiplication does not always come first just because it's first in the order of the GEMS. Okay, the way you do this is you work it from left to right. So whichever problem is on the left is the one that you're going to do first. It doesn't matter if it's the division or the multiplication. So left to right. Alright, and so whichever one is on the left gets solved first. Okay, and then you're just going to have, at this point, you'll have maybe still some addition and subtraction if it's in the problem, and you just need to leave it. You need to skip over it because that comes next. Alright, so the trick that we use to remember this might be mom and dad, okay, for M and D. And now mom and dad are equal, not one is better than the other, and so they are on the same line, okay, so whichever one is on the left. Alright, S and A, subtraction, and addition. Alright, when you get to subtraction and addition, those should be the only operations left in the problem because they're your very last step. And just like multiplication and division, you're going to work from left to right. Okay, so whichever one is on the left gets solved first. Maybe you remember this as sister and aunt or brother and sister, whatever helps you remember. Again, not one comes first all the time. Just because subtraction is listed first does not mean that it goes first. Whichever one is on the left. Okay? All right. We're going to do an example together for visual people like me here. We're going to do two things. We're going to show you what to do and then what not to do. An example of not correct. Okay? Here we go. So I'm going to rewrite the problem. You always want to rewrite the problem. We got lots of operations here. We've got addition, division, and what in the world is this dot? Okay, this is something new. This dot means to multiply. We're trying to not use x anymore because x will be used later in equations. Okay, so when you see a dot, it means to multiply, and I know that's the first time you've probably seen that. Okay, so first step that I would like you to do is always to write your acronym. Alright, so you're going to look. Are there any grouping symbols? Do you see any parentheses? You're scanning. I don't, so we can mark that off. Do you see any little numbers or what are known as exponents? No, so mark it off. Alright, so then M is for M and D, so multiplication and division. Alright, so I see division and I see multiplication. Which one comes first? Yeah, I heard you say it. The one on the left. Okay, so this one. You can circle or underline whatever your first step is, but this is my very first step, even though it's in the middle of the problem. Alright, so 12 divided by 2 is 6. You're going to put that 6 right underneath the equation. Does not go in the front, okay? And then what you're going to do is just copy the rest of the sentence around it, exactly how it was. So 42, the addition sign, subtraction, and then multiplied by 4. Okay? So go back up here. Do we have any more multiplication or division? Yes, I see addition, subtraction, and then the multiplication. Okay, so this is our next step here. Alright, and directly under it we're going to put the answer for 3 times 4. Really? I'm scribbling again. Alright. 3 times 4 is 12. Okay, and then copy the rest of the sentence right underneath it. And the sign right here follows, it comes down here. Alright, and now I have no more multiplication and division, I just have subtraction and addition. Which one comes first? The one on the left, this one. Okay, so 42 plus 6 is 48, and then you've got to do 48 minus 12. It's your very last step. Come over here. And you end up with 36. Okay, notice that this gets smaller and smaller. Oops. And over here. It's our tornado. Okay, as you're doing steps one at a time, it gets smaller and smaller and leaves you with the very last, and then you circle or box your answer here. 36. Alright, what not to do? This is our no-nos. Okay. 42 plus 12 divided by 2 minus 3 multiplied by 4. Alright, let's just go left to right. Let's do 42 plus 12. 42 plus 12 will be 54 divided by 2 minus 3 multiplied by 4. So we're going to see if we get the same answer. Alright, let's do 54 divided by 2. I'm going to come up here and work off to the side. Goes in there twice. Subtract, you get 1. Bring down the 4. Alright, 27 goes in there evenly. Okay, so far so good. Now I've got 27 minus 3 multiplied by 4. Alright, 27 minus 3 is, whoops, off the page, 24. And let's do 24 times 4. Get our final answer. 4 times 4, 16. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 more is 9. 96. Do these look the same? Absolutely not. Okay? You cannot choose your order. You have to follow Jim's. You cannot work left to right. And you can clearly see that you get 2 different answers. Okay, so make sure you follow GEMS. Alright. Goal number 2. What happens if something is missing? Okay. Sorry, I just scribbled. For example, so here might be a question. Which set of operations or operators in the blanks would make the following statement true? So they give you answer choices here. Alright, now let's be problem solvers here. Alright. You probably don't want to sit up here and ignore your answer choices and try and figure out what to do up here. What I would say is take each answer choice and use that and fill in the blanks and see if it's true. Okay, for example. Alright, let's fill in the blank. So A says addition, multiplication, addition. Now remember your GEMS. Okay, doesn't matter what math problem it is, GEMS is applied. Okay, so I'm not going to do 10 plus 5 first. Oops. Okay, no grouping symbols, no exponents. I do have multiplication and division. I have this right here. 5 times 4, 20. And then I've got to copy the rest of the sentence surrounding it. Okay. Alright. No more multiplication or division. Cross that off. Subtraction and addition. Yep, I've got addition left. So, left to right. 10 plus 20 is 30. And 30 plus 6 equals 36. Not correct. Okay. Then, let's go up here. I didn't leave myself enough room. So we're going to come way up here. Let's try another one. Let's try B. Divide, multiply, and then add. Alright, so multiplication and division come first. I've got to go left to right, so I have to do this one first. 2. 2 times 4 is 8, and 8 plus 6 is not 26. Okay. Let's try another one. Multiply, subtract, and add. Okay, multiplication and division first. So this one, 50. Subtract 4, and then it's plus 6. Alright, and so now you have subtraction and addition left, so left to right, which is 50 minus 4 is 46 plus 6. Okay, that one doesn't work. That's a lot higher. Okay, last but not least, let's see if it works. Don't assume that just because the other ones work that D is going to work. Always check. Because we could have made a mistake. Alright, let's see. Multiply, subtract, multiply. Okay, so multiplication, division come first. I got to do this one first. 50, subtract 4, multiplied by 6. Whoops. Okay, and then 4 times 6 is 24. I'm doing this because multiplication comes first. Wow, and then it leaves you with 50 minus 24, which is 26. We have our final answer. So, Mrs. Sorrells does not know how to use the mouse. Alright, D. Right here. That's your final answer. Alright, this is going to be the end of the video, so if you have any questions, again, please fill out the form and click submit so that you will have credit, and we will clear up any confusions tomorrow. Have a good night.